Hey, what's up guys? Tactical Pickle here and welcome to Tactical Pickle Tips. So in this video series, I'm going to experiment with it and kind of give my tips, different stuff that I do, finding discount prices on games, some of the websites that I use, maybe extensions in my browser to help, find the best deal on games, parts, different stuff like that. So I guess the first video in this series, I kind of wanted to talk about video cards. So if you've been in the market for a video card recently, you might have known or might have noticed how ridiculous the pricing on graphics cards has gotten, as well as their availability. And if you didn't know, this is due to the boom in Ethereum mining. That's the newest cryptocurrency similar to Bitcoin that utilizes the graphical processing power of these graphic cards to essentially mine for cryptocurrency, which is actually, if it's been a while since I've looked into it, but the theory behind cryptocurrency is, I believe it's they harness the calculation powers to solve these very complex algorithms, and it's a bunch of people doing it, and they deliver a certain amount of the whatever cryptocurrency that they are actually mining for. It's split up based on how much of the calculation that you are capable of deciphering. I could be wrong on that. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually looked into cryptocurrency, and Ethereum mining might be completely different in that aspect. However, that has been the biggest reason why graphics card prices have gone up. And their availability has gone down. So that's because a lot of these people are buying these $300-$400 cards, multiples of them, building these mining rigs, and then mining. So, which kind of brings me to the next part of the video. So I'm somebody that likes to save on parts. I like to look for discounted parts, great deals, stuff like that. So a lot of the times I'm searching either like OfferUp or Craigslist, stuff like that. And I've noticed a recent trend on there of the amount of graphics cards, used graphics cards, that are actually popping up on there. And they're still being sold at very high prices. Now, granted, they might be a little bit cheaper than what you would find for online for a brand new one, but I want to point out that it might be a good idea to stay away from these graphics cards. Now, the reason I say that is yes, it's a used part, which, it's going to see use, but in the case of a mining rig, these graphics cards are being used constantly. Now I'm talking like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in little rigs right next to each other, at 100%, just constantly running, doing these calculations or mining. And so if you're buying one of these cards, it's going to be most likely a card that's been constantly ran for weeks at a time with no reprieve. So granted, I don't know how well, this is all just personal opinion, but I believe those cards are not going to be worth what you're going to pay for them buying them secondhand from somebody that's disassembling a rig or advancing to a better graphics cards. But buying these used graphics cards, you're not going to get a great lifetime out of these cards, because I don't really believe they're designed to consistently run that long without any form of wear on the boards themselves. Now, sure, there might be some people out there that take really good care of their mining rigs, and then there might be people out there that just bought into the craze, bought all these graphics cards, built their cheap rig, and had these graphics cards, right next to each other and basically just choked them. And, they probably heated up considerably. And, some people overclock them. And now, so as for the graphics cards and their availability, manufacturers really, I don't think are going to do a whole lot about it, because if you think about it, they're a business, and their business is to sell graphics cards. It doesn't really matter who they're selling the graphics cards to, as long as they're selling the graphics cards. So as an end user, if you're not able to buy one because you got these people out there buying 5 to 10 of them at a time to build these mining rigs, or there's probably other places that are buying like 10s and 20s and 30 of them at a time to build these crazy rigs. It probably doesn't really matter to NVIDIA or AMD, because their business is to sell these graphics cards. It doesn't matter to them if you don't get one, because they still make their money. And now, I did read something really interesting a couple days ago. It's there's a PC gaming, or not PC gaming, but there's a place called Micro Center. So what they do is, Micro Center, I believe, is primarily East Coast, which sucks. I would love it. They actually sell a lot of their parts even cheaper than you would actually find on like Amazon or Newegg, and that's really cool. One of the big things that I always see pop up on like PC Gamer, they talk about how Micro Center is usually selling the Core i7 7700K in store for about $300 plus tax, when that comes out to about $340-ish on like Amazon or Newegg. So they sell a lot of their in-price items cheaper than you find them online. And what they're doing, as kind of a combative thing towards the mining market, is they're actually, if you go to their website, you'll see, if you go to their graphics card section. Now, I haven't actually checked this myself, which I will do. I'll pop up here in the video as well, just to show you. If you go to the graphics card, you'll see that in their quantities of what to buy, the first one will be however so much. The second one will be a little bit more, and then from 3 and on, the price jumps up to $10,000 a piece. Now, this isn't really going to do a whole lot in the sense of stopping these mass amounts of graphics card sales for the mining purposes, but it's definitely a really cool thing for a company to do in the aspect of supporting the gamer versus the capitalism side of it. Now, I just thought that was awesome. I thought it was funny that there's a company out there willing to limit their amount of items that somebody could buy based on how much they cost. So what this is really, it's not going to affect, somebody buying 1 or 2 graphics cards, if they want to run it in SLI, but it's definitely going to affect if these people try to buy 3, 4, 5, 10s, 20s of these, at least from Micro Center. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to change anything, because there's multitudes of other places that you can actually purchase graphics cards and whatnot. But at least for people that shop at Micro Center, you're going to have a better chance of actually purchasing a graphics card. And hopefully pricing will eventually kind of wane back down to in the realistic price range for graphics cards, because I believe they're, some of them are going up to 50% upsale in value, so they're like 150% of what the the MSRP is. And some of the it's, I believe it affects more of the AMD cards, I guess, with the Ethereum mining. It's better suited for AMD's style of processing, Like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of research into it, but if you've looked for an AMD card recently, you'll probably see that they're really overpriced. Those can actually go up to 200% their value, because I remember I had an RX 480, which I sold on Craigslist. I think I sold it for 200 or so. But if you go to try and find one now, RX 480, RX 580, those are going for 400 plus a piece, which is just ridiculous. And that comes down to supply and demand. And on another note, just to kind of show that graphics card manufacturers aren't really worried about, if you get one or not, I believe AMD is in the process of creating a beta, or has created a beta driver, a beta driver for their AMD graphics card line, to actually help improve how well the AMD graphics cards actually mine. So just be careful when you're out there looking for secondhand parts, especially for graphics cards on like Craigslist, eBay, stuff like that. Sometimes you'll even see that people will be posting like, oh yeah, I got 500, or I got 5 to 10 RX 580s, and they're selling them for 400 a piece, and you can see that they have boxes of all the cards stacked up on top of each other, and that's a clear sign that they were using them for Ethereum mining or some form of cryptocurrency mining. So just be careful with that. Look at the ad, kind of gauge it for yourself. Usually people that are selling like one or maybe two cards, usually if they reference like SLI in their ad or something, they're generally not somebody that is doing this Ethereum or any of the cryptocurrency mining, or they are just clever in their ads. But just be wearisome, or mindful of that if you are in the market for a graphics card. It might be worth it to just suck it up and pay the little bit extra to get a brand new card, versus one of these cards where you're going to be getting maybe like a 15-20% discount on the card itself, but as for the lifetime expectancy, you might not even get a year out of it, depending on the conditions the card was ran in this Ethereum, or in the mining rig, I should say, because there's a ton of different cryptocurrencies, some being more valuable than others, which is why the Ethereum mining has kind of boomed recently on the graphics cards. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments below on what you thought about this style of video. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. It's just something I'm trying out new. I like to give my opinion on certain things, and if you found the information useful, let me know down below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. This style of video probably won't permeate too far beyond my current subscribers, because based on the keywords and stuff like that. But if you guys have been watching my videos, let me know what you think of this style, and if I should continue with it, and whatnot. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. You can connect with me on the new Facebook page that I set up. It's facebook.com/tacticalpicklegaming. You can hit me up there, send me pictures, messages, let me know, maybe show me your rig that you're working on or upgrading. Ask me, you can ask me questions, you can post memes, you can do all that cool stuff. Right now it's fairly limited in who's liked it and whatnot, but I'm trying to build it up to kind of make it easier to connect with people. And down the line I can show like user rigs and stuff like that. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.